Welcome to the third episode of the podcast. If you don't know, here we review music. I like to go album by album for whatever is a recent release and detail my experience with these projects or singles. And Brennan Montry, one of my little brothers, is joining me on this experience, and I've been really overloading him with music to listen to. But what's up, Brennan? How's it going?
What's up, man? And we're going to start off, I'm going to tell you right now, this week was kind of rough to review. I don't know if I was in a mood or something, but we'll dive into it.
It's all good, man. I mean, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. Okay. So, like always, I love to offer my own interpretation when it comes to music. So we're moving track by track. I'm giving my overall thoughts on each song as a whole, and then how I felt about the album as a whole. But this week, I'm only doing that for some of these albums and doing quick reviews for others. This episode, we're covering Atmosphere, Styles P and Dave East, Ghostface Killah, and T.I.'s new album, and we're also covering the singles from Anderson .Paak and the Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper joint effort.
I have not yet seen that.
Well, we'll get into it. Alright, starting off with Atmosphere, Mi Vida Local, I think is how you say it. I don't know. Anyways, so Atmosphere is a two-man group containing rapper Slug and producer Ant, and they will always be one of my favorite groups. The rapper Slug has made some of the most memorable verses and songs. His lyricism is crazy to me, and if you don't believe me, you gotta go listen to the song Yesterday and tell me the hairs on your arms don't stand up, and then go listen to the song The Last to Say. He's just great at storytelling. So yes, I was very excited to find out he released a new album. So here's my review for Mi Vida Local. I know Mi Vida Loca is My Crazy Life, so maybe that's what he was going for on the title. I'm actually not sure about that, though. I couldn't really find anything like annotating his lyrics either, so this is all straight up my own interpretation of everything.
I want to give you guys just a rundown. It's Atmosphere, like Corin said, it's Mi Vida Local. Mi Vida Local came out on October...
It could just be local, and I'm just...
Or local.
Being an idiot.
It came out on October 5th, and it's 49 minutes long with 12 tracks.
49 minutes? Dang.
It was a short one.
Alright. So starting off with the track Jerome, Ant, the producer of the group, to me, he did his thing on this one. The instrumental is great. It's rock influenced with Syrian live electric guitars and electric bass living above this explosive percussion. I say explosive because the calm beginning is simply a shaker that gets interrupted by a steel drum, and once the beat starts up, you're reminded this is all live instrumentation for the first part, and just, I absolutely loved it. Slug begins his lengthy verse with the phrase, "I ain't the one," and reminds you how brilliant his pen is. And I listened through this track several times before even moving on. And the lead out is almost like Ant's experimenting with sounds, and I just dug it. To me, this is a perfect start, and I give this one a 9 out of 10.
Right. Well, just like you, I like the beat. I like the guitar and the drums. I think there were some bongos in there. I was really vibing with that. It was really great.
I'm going to say bongos or congos.
Yeah, one of those two. The lyrics, they told a story, but for me, the flow was pretty dry in this one. I thought it wasn't the best start. Takes a hot minute to end as well. I give this one a 7 out of 10, which is not bad, but it's kind of a rough start for me.
Yeah, I was just vibing out to the instrumentation, which I thought was fantastic. But yeah, okay. On to song number 2, Stopwatch. I like how the choir-like presence is treated as a loop for the intro of the instrumental. It's like pulsating into some rather pleasant, aggressive piano keys. Then, again, an explosive entrance for the percussion. A distorted bass floats nicely while this pounding bass kick leads the track. I absolutely love this one too. Slug does his thing again. There's quotables all over the song. My favorite line was, "Baby, it's the same song, whole world is singing it. Some of us just humming along, some of us really bringing it. And if it fires up a fraction of the sleeping giant, may we live long enough to see the times that redefine it. And that rhyme scheme, it just stood out to me. I really liked how the vocals slowly chanting, "Just take me as I am," flowed over the beat as well. Really nice end of the song, and give this one another 9 out of 10.
Wow, another 9 out of 10. I was feeling the piano on this one, and there was a strong bring-in with the lyrics. The beat was really doing it for me, but the lyrics to me, like, there was still no flow, or the lyrics were weak. Really wish he would have brought it up a little bit more, lyric-wise. It just it sounded like he was talking, and I don't really care for that kind of rap style where it sounds like they're talking the lyrics. I like to feel what they're feeling, and they get in the flow of it. For me, this one just wasn't doing it.
You're saying it was kind of spoken wordish?
Yeah, it was very spoken. It was a weak flow, is what I'm trying to say.
A weak flow?
A weak flow, yeah. I don't know, I might have just been in a mood.
Oh man, I disagree, but...
I like the beat stop when he says, "Looking for a F to give," and it was an interesting play on the word stopwatch.
Yeah, I dug the chorus a lot.
But I also thought it got repetitive, which brings me to the next part, which is what I was like you said, the "take me as I am" part, which switched it up. I enjoyed that a lot, but I still gave this one a 7 out of 10.
That lead out was really nice at the end there.
Good switch up.
7 out of 10, that ain't bad though. So, moving on. Virgo, track number 3. This beautiful subtle plucking of acoustic guitars opens the track up, and I don't know if the beat you hear far in the background is intentional or bleed through in the headphones while the guitar was recorded. Either way, I love the touch, and there's a presence of impurity in the recording that I actually really loved. What I want you to pay attention to on this song is the panning and how it can truly build a beat structurally sound, especially when the vocals are centered. Ant did his thing again. Lyrically, the song is great. I feel as if Slug is touching on the human race and the wrongdoings that's going on, but there's so much more than that going on here, especially with the second verse. So please listen and let me know your own interpretation. In between verses, we don't get a hook. Instead, we get more of this gorgeous guitar added with greatly placed piano. The production is spot on, and Slug ends the song out with these lines: "Lower the arrow and take a breath. I won't waste ammo aiming at the angel of death. I might have already left, but they hear me still with pale knuckle grip on a steering wheel." And this is my favorite song so far, and I give this one a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was definitely a switch up from the previous two songs, and like you
said, when that
said,
piano came in, I bet you were like, oh, because I mean, I know you're a fan of piano too, just as much as I am.
Actually, to start it off, I thought the strings were really great. It reminded me of the song "Wicked Games," the live acoustic version by Stone Sour. You know what song that is?
No, but I'm sure it sounds good.
It almost sounds... It sounds very similar. Not exact, but very similar. So I was already intrigued by that. I like his line, "You ain't a real lion if you like the circus."
Yeah.
That was pretty clever. That was a good lyric.
I agree.
I feel like there should be more lyrics, though. Like, he should have put more in. There was a lot more beat-oriented, and I wanted to hear more on this one.
That's kind of like the whole group, though. It's like, you get the rapper and then you get the producer who, I feel like they take turns sometimes.
Yeah. Also, I felt like some of the rhymes were super basic, though. And I felt like he could have done better. Yeah, but you already mentioned it. I really dug the Angel of Death part.
Yeah, that whole rhyme scheme, that just fit the way he... Did he at least have flow in this one for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I was like, he flowed over this beat incredibly well.
Yeah, which is why I gave it a 8.5 out of 10.
Hey, staying above that 5 range, I see.
But I will say, this one also took a very long outro.
Which I actually really liked.
Well, I understand it, too, because, it's the producer, so... Moving on.
Track number 4, Delicate. The live production really shines through on this track, and we get a multitude of guitars mixed together so well that lead us into some great percussion, and I mean great percussion. This muddy bass and drums reside right in the center of the track while the rest of the track plays around our heads. And I absolutely love this style of instrumental. Ant really doesn't disappoint. This harmonica-esque solo plays us out on the elongated outro, which I bet Brennan didn't really care for, but I didn't mind it at all. I was just bopping my head the entire time. So here we get one long verse and a chorus, and with lyrics like this, there's much to interpret, I feel. And I can't listen to a Slug verse without hearing something and then thinking that I missed something else, you know? So, yeah, tons of replayability in my opinion. I mean, just listen to the descriptive and real vitality of this track. By this line alone, there's no kind of friction to find because ain't nobody running towards the same finish line. Looking at the dirty snow in the street make you believe everybody must have just adjusted to the grief. This track has some really beautiful lyricism in my opinion, and definitely deserves another 10 out of 10.
Oh man, you really like this guy?
Well, Slug is a masterful lyricist in my opinion, and Ant is just an incredible producer. So yeah, they coexist very well.
I'm gonna go ahead and flip it up on you guys. This one I actually didn't care for the beat that much, but the lyrics were way better on this one. However, the Skeletons line was pretty repetitive throughout it. I wish I would have seen a little bit more out of him lyric-wise instead of just repeating it. Really not a fan of repetitive stuff, as you guys know from the previous two podcasts. I like the friends leaving means less. I think I wrote it wrong. I said luggage, but it might have been baggage line.
Yeah.
I like that line. It's like kind of like a, it's not a big deal. If they leave you, you can still move forward, and it's like less weight on your shoulders to think about. It's kind of a sad line, but I feel like that's kind of a big vibe of this story is he's like trying to fight for happiness, and the song very much shows that. Overall, I said it was nothing too crazy, and like I said, the repetitiveness and me not really caring for the beat, I give this one a 6 out of 10.
That's fair.
I hear that deep sigh. I know you're disappointed in me.
I'm disappointed, dude. This song was fantastic. But alright. Track 5. Drown featuring Casanova, The Lioness, and Dim Atlas. This key press reoccurring in the beginning is met with a bass synth that lives behind it, then 2 different types of keys layer on top of everything, and we're dealing with this steady build until the percussion coexists perfectly on the first chorus and retains its presence for the second verse. Man, dude, in my opinion, Ant is killing this so far in this production. And now, the first verse by Slug has such vivid imagery. Due to the line, I'm just trying to keep my head above the hopelessness. I think Slug's angle on this drown concept is, well, it's misery. And I love the lines on this verse. Next, we're giving a very fitting chorus from Casanova saying, I think I'm going down, don't know what to do, I'ma drown with you. And then we get a guest verse by rapper The Lioness, who is someone I've actually never heard of, and based off of this verse, I'm definitely checking out other stuff by her. She flowed incredibly well over this beat while saying something real. Her syllable game is on point, which you know I like. I think she out-raps Slug by far on this one. And then we get a third verse by singer Dim Atlas, and I thought the lyrics and presence was nice at the end, and I love the song. Another 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with Lioness. She killed this verse. I definitely gotta check her out. The beat itself was very simple at first, and then I love the smooth transition. You already covered that, though. I like the chorus. I like pretty much everything about this song. But again, I don't know if I'm just like hating or not, but Slug kind of came up lackluster on this song. I feel like he was carried by the others. It makes me bob my head. This song is a banger. I actually really liked it. And I also liked Dumb Atlas' verse. So far, this is one of the best songs on the album. I give it another 8 out of 10.
That's more like it.
This was a good one. I like the features as well.
I agree with that. The features are really nice on that. Moving on, track 6, Anymore. The emotion I feel from this instrumental was just anger, honestly. I love how the mixer of this song filled out the space with strategically panned electric guitars, almost giving a haunting presence. A cowbell-like instrumental greets us as the rest of the pounding percussion makes its entrance. A bass synth lingers in the background, barely faint enough to notice. Again, the instrumental is fantastic. Slug then describes his relationship problems with lyrics that come from a very real place. Both verses are fantastic, but I gotta say I love the line, I fantasize about a peaceful release date, but that's standard life, we all reaching to keep faith. Sometimes I gotta climb inside, start it up and drive just to figure out why I'm allowed to be alive. I was overestimating the damage. The chorus really testifies the state of the relationship. We hear, I'm bored, you're bored, stay together, what for? And I don't know, that I dug the chorus a lot. Again, Slug killed the verse. The content went along with the beat perfectly in my opinion. At the end, we get a massive beat break with a good pattern and wacky bass, alongside a synth modulator that transforms into a skit, and I don't really know why the skit is here. But besides that, fantastic track. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you again. The only negative thing I had to say about this track was that I'm bored part started to kind of get old, but it wasn't bad. Nothing to, complain about.
And I could totally see that.
Yeah, but it was worth noting. But I felt like, I was like, here we go. He found his beat, he found his flow, he dove in, he went hard, I liked it. I don't really have anything negative to say about this. I love the line. He says,
yeah, you shut up. You say nothing negative.
I love the line where he says, I swear to God, you are not being ignored. I just don't care enough to argue anymore. I was like, nice. I was like, bars right there, my guy. I give this one a solid, well-deserved 8.5 out of 10.
Slug is, man, he's got some bars, man. I don't know. He always comes with something.
I want this earlier on in the track, or on the album, honestly.
All right. Well, you gave this a what again?
8.5 out of 10.
Hey, same. All right. Track 7.
We agreed on something?
Track 7, Earring, featuring Moosab, I think. Moosab? I don't know. Uh-oh. All right. The percussion starts this one off right. I love this beat. A female singer sample resides in the beginning but disappears when the verse starts, and I loved how the different instrumentals mocked her melody during the verses and on the chorus. Just technically beautiful and haunting, honestly. The acoustic electric guitar sounds gorgeous. I do wish it was more apparent, though. The piano, too. I think it sounds so good. I just want more of it, and I want just one more verse from Slug, too, because this is a shorter one on the album, sitting just over 3 minutes. Slug starts the track continuing the relationship talk, almost sounding like he does want to work things out. He starts the verse with, and one of us gotta crawl under the bus if we want to stand a chance of standing up without a crutch. It was a great verse, per usual. Now, in the last song, Anymore, Slug confesses, I can't hear you on the chorus, and in this song, Slug says, I wish you could hear me, my lips to your earrings, and what I took away from this is that ties the two songs together, I think. Next, we get a guest rap verse from Moosab. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. But I love this guy's subtle verse, and he admits his relationship problems as well. It was a great song, 8.5 out of 10.
Oof. So, this one, I thought the beat was okay. I like the la la part. That was,
Yes.
I enjoyed that. Although, disagree with you on the whole earring line, I wish you could hear me, lips on your earring. That made my eyes roll so hard that if I was bowling, I'd have a perfect game.
Wow.
It was some pretty cringy lyrics on this one. I thought Moosab had some basic rhymes, but I actually really liked his verse. I don't know what it was about it. I just really liked his portion. I didn't really care for this song. Not one of my favorites on this album. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Jeez. I don't know, man. I guess I just I got a soft spot for atmosphere. It might be.
Or I'm just a hater.
Yeah, or you're just incorrect as hell, and you don't know music.
Well,
so.
I mean, I didn't. Unlike you, I didn't feel the tie-in to the previous song at all, and it might have been because I was really trying to look at the lyrics, and the earring part just kept repeating it, and it was just kind of cringy to me. I don't know, man.
All right, track 8. This is an interesting one.
Skip.
Trim. You said skip?
Yeah, I said skip.
Yeah. I literally wrote this in my notes, though. I was like, that live bass, though, yes. But yeah, live bass. That's something most rap songs should have. It really brings life to a track, and this song sounds like Ant found a bunch of random sounds to work with and didn't sleep until they all coexisted perfectly. Because they all fit together so well, and there's so much going on, but I specifically love the simple taps that spread out in a mix from the center to a full 50 degrees, both left and right. I love the drums and the synth that sits above everything. This is such an enjoyable beat to me. And as far as the lyrics, I love the realness in the song. This will be relatable for any parent, because this song is about, trying to get some trim. And how difficult that can be as a parent, especially when the other half of the relationship is always tired. I don't know, man. It was funny, and I love this song. It was funny and not something you typically hear in a rap song. So 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? Are you insane?
No.
Bro, this was definitely a song from a guy's perspective, hands down.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The song's about sex. And just like Corbin said, it's about trying to get it in, when the kids go to bed or whatever. Like, literally any free time. This is such a guy song. Basic lyrics, if it wasn't for the beat, it probably would have scored lower, which is hard to say because I gave this one a 3 out of 10. Not really replayable for me.
I kind of disagree, though.
8 out of 10. You're disgusting.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny.
I was literally laying in bed listening to this song when I'm writing my review, and I'm like, this is literally about sex, and that's it.
Well, yeah, what do you expect?
That's literally all it was about. I was like, wow, I can very much tell a guy wrote this song.
Track 9, Specificity. Brennan?
Did you want me to go first?
How do you feel about this one?
I like this.
Really?
Yeah, I like the sound change of him sounding like he was like in the booth, like sounding like we were in the studio with him. And then it comes back out and it comes into my headphones. That was a bumper, but dude, it was super short.
Yeah, it was like just over a minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 2 minutes or something like that. I give it a 7 out of 10. I wish it was longer, honestly. It was good.
Alright. For me, I didn't understand why a dude coughing and laughing opens up the track. But
oh, okay, yeah. Yo, I totally forgot about that part, but that very much like deterred me at first. I was like, oh, okay, this is like a skit or something.
I was like, really?
I don't like when
I don't know,
do
I
that.
always hate that.
I don't like when artists cough into the mic or whatever. Or like they try to add realism to it. And nobody wants to hear you coughing, my guy.
Yeah, and as an engineer, I'm always trying to clean that stuff up. So for me, it annoys the hell out of me. So, okay. But once the instrumental starts up, we get more synth and live bass, along with a premature version of the drum beat. Once the verse starts, we get the full version of the drum beat, and I liked it. I thought Suggs' one verse covered this 2-minute song nicely, flowed very well over the instrumental. The lyrics were great as always, but I didn't care for the pass filter set low on his vocals in the beginning, but when his grittily mixed vocals come in later in the track, it sounded very nice. It was a good track. Probably my least favorite here in the track list, though. I give this one a 6.5 out of 10.
Interesting. You're telling me you like Miho?
Track 10, Miho.
Yikes, bro.
Right off the bat, we're greeted with piano, bass, and the drum beat. There's also a synth with a filtrated fade in on the end of each note, which provided a major foundation for the intro, but becomes less apparent on the verses and reappears on the chorus. The piano is played as a single note tap in sets of 4, and I love the instrumental a lot, actually. As far as the lyrics, though, can you guess how I felt about them, Brennan?
You probably loved him.
You're right, I loved him. With Miho as the title, which translates into son, obviously. I'm sure you can guess that. Or I'm sure you can guess what the song is about. Slug relates to his children that he found them to be his heaven on earth. And this is a meaningful track, in my opinion. And even with his verses, it sounded like he's talking to little kids. It was such a fantastic job, in my opinion. This is one of the only songs that doesn't have any swearing in it, and I'm assuming that was on purpose. Great beat, great lyrics, great song. 9 out of 10.
Are you ready for me to come in and absolutely destroy this?
Sure.
I'm not actually going to destroy it. I know this was a very personal song, so for me personally, it didn't do anything for me. Nothing really stood out.
You just hate it, man.
No, man. Like I listened to this song 3 times trying to find something, and it didn't do anything for me. It's a very personal song. I know it's for his kids, and it's more aimed towards them. It's totally fine with me, but for me personally, it didn't do anything for me. Nothing stood out. Not much replay value here. So I give it a not great 4 out of 10.
Damn, is that the lowest so far?
No, I gave it 3 out of 10.
Later on?
No, it was earlier.
Trim.
Trim, yeah.
Okay. I get that though. But anyways. Track 11.
Smashing.
Track 11, Randy Moss featuring the Dino Spectrum. Brennan, do you know who the Dino Spectrum are?
Nope.
Alright, I'll get into it.
I thought it was one guy when I read it, and then
you are wrong.
A bunch of people jumped in, and I was like, oh, is he?
The Spectrum, Brennan. Come on. This instrumental is very reminiscent of some 90s hip-hop with a polished appeal. The drum beat is dirty and pounds very heavily. I loved it. The sax-like presence fit the mix well. The live bass has an effect on it I can't make out, but I thought it sounded damn nice. The grittiness is so nice, especially for this lyrical exercise for these veteran MCs, and I really do mean veteran as well, because the group Dino Spectrum was created in the late 90s, containing members Slug, Ant, so the Atmosphere Collective, a guy named Iself Divine, Sab the Artist, and Swift, or should I say Sev 2, Pat Juba, General Woundwart, and Mr. Gene Pool. Yeah, only some serious hip-hop heads will understand that one. But yeah, this collective had a reunion on the record, and they all did their thing on this one collectively. Lyrical skill was matched pretty close. Still think Slug got the win here, though. Really solid track. Another skit at the end that I didn't understand again, but still, I gave this one an 8 out of 10. Where you at?
Boy, you're gonna hate me. For once, I agree that... Slug actually won this one. It was weird. It started off.
It was weird. I'll give you that. It was weird.
The lyrics were alright. I'm not a big fan of the beat, to be totally honest. You're probably gonna hate me for that. Bro, there's a line in here. You gotta look this up with me, because I gotta make sure this is right. He said something like, "You must be drinking cum because you sound like a cunt."
Yes, actually, I hated that line. Was that
an actual line?
It was something like that. It wasn't. I don't think it was the exact line, but it was definitely something like that. But I forgot about that dude's verse altogether while reviewing this. I didn't care for that guy's verse at all.
So the guy's lyrics were literally, "You must be drinking cum because you sound a lot like a cunt." That alone kind of took me out. I kind of sighed heavily at that part, and it kind of just took me out of the rest of the song. I was really disappointed with that line. I did not enjoy
that line alone. 7.5 out of 10.
It wasn't clever, dude. It was not clever. I didn't think it was cute. I didn't think it was smart or witty or anything. I did not enjoy this song. I thought it was very...
It dropped a track down a 0.5% for me just because you brought that up to me.
Yeah, and I thought it was very skippable. 2 out of 10. That's like my lowest score I've ever given.
Jeez. That's pretty bad. All right. Track 12. Graffiti. Gorgeous live piano opens this track up, and I'd say these are panned about 40 to the right. And it retains its low presence until the end of the first verse when an electric guitar alongside an acoustic electric come into the mix. Those were panned about 40 to the left, and just in time though, because we're immediately met with an explosive drum beat and harmonizing vocal on the chorus. The drum beat remains and really builds the instrumental out well. Now Slug kills these verses, and what's being said could be left up to many different interpretations, but I believe there's a personal undertone to the use of graffiti. But till I learn about that, what I think this track is about is simply Slug trying to find a reason to keep going with music, love, life, and yeah, that may be further than he meant to go, but I took that line. These voices in my life are all make-believe, trying to find a way to exploit and make choice of pain relief. Trying to find a way to exploit my choice of pain relief. And the end of this line, to park and watch the planes arrive and think, what am I here for? You could take those to heart. And Slug and Ant did it again on this track, another 9 out of 10. Where you at with it, bro?
When it comes to divide, we should multiply. That is a good line right there. I love the beat when it came in. The lyrics were just not there for me, except for the line I just said, of course. And other than that, understanding the message and everything, I just wasn't feeling this one. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, man.
I don't know, dude. I have to go back and re-listen to this album. You're, like, saying all this stuff, and I'm like, I did not pick up on that at all. I must have missed that completely.
Yeah, I thought the instrumentation was gorgeous on this thing.
I actually said that. In my overall review, I said I was not a fan of the lyrics. I think I would like the instrumental version more, which there is. He does have one.
There is an instrumental, yes, and I've been listening to it.
Best track for me was either Virgo, but I also feel like I believe I gave Virgo a higher score by 0.5, but I'm kind of like, it kind of ties with Drown for me. I really like that one too. I personally didn't feel the flow in most of Slug's lines, so that kind of took me out of it for a good portion of the album, which was kind of disappointing, because I've listened to these guys before, and
yeah,
they came out with an album in July.
There's something weird with that one though.
Well, I feel like they had new songs on it, right?
What was the name of it again?
It's Sad Clown, Bad Year.
Yeah, I think that was like a collection of
It's a collection number 9 through 12.
Yeah, I think that was just some like compilation record of just tracks that didn't make albums.
Oh, well, I'll be totally honest with you, I like that one way better.
Dang.
Yeah, he had flow on that one, dude. I was really digging it. I was like, nice. Like, where was this in this one?
That's funny, because I didn't like that. Give me your overall.
Overall, I feel like Slug could have hit harder on this one. He could have used more flow. And kind of killed it with the beats. Definitely would listen to the instrumental alone. I hope that you could write some songs to that, maybe. Ideas. I gave this album overall a 6 out of 10.
I really like graffiti, so maybe. And Virgo and Delicate. You gave this one what?
A 6 out of 10.
That ain't horrible.
It's above 5, so.
It's above average, so I mean, you still get potential here. Okay, my overall is, I absolutely love Atmosphere, and I've been waiting for a new album that's like this. I can say I wasn't disappointed. There's not enough praise could be given to Ant for providing such a technical and beautiful instrumental landscape for Slug to traverse lyrically. The mixing, the pristine mastering, everything work here on a technical level. And my problem with this record are only found in the song specificity, whatever. I still gave that a 6 out of 10. These guys work really well together, and please don't stop giving us this music. Thank you. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Fanboy over here. Alright, we're going to be
Very
moving
much
to Ghostface Killah. The Lost Tapes came out on October 5th. It's 42 minutes long. There's 13 tracks on it, 1 remix and an intro, 2 interludes, and an outro.
Brennan, what exactly do we need to say about Ghostface? I mean, the dude's
He's
a legend.
Gangster.
He's 1/10 of the legendary group. If you haven't heard of Wu-Tang, you got some studying to do. This surprise record was produced by Big Ghost, I think exclusively. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get started with the Lost Tapes.
Great, I'll start it off. Introduction was an introduction. Don't think
That's
it was needed.
Literally all it is. Yep.
I didn't give it a score. I was like, this wasn't really needed. I could have done without it. But it was an introduction into the album, which was the Lost Tapes. So, got that point home.
I wrote a little review, though. A little something.
All right.
The soulful samples and a light percussion and a heavy bass presence. Welcome to some real boom bap hip hop. This is definitely up there for my favorite type of production. On here, though, we just get Michael Rappaport introducing Ghostface, which, if you don't know who Michael is, he's an actor who's a huge hip hop head. By the way, if you haven't seen the show Atypical, go watch that. It's a fantastic show. But yeah, I'm also going to talk about the outro too, because he ends the album off too, like the same way, just giving more praise, and it was cool to hear. Just a fan of rap being, a fan of rap, and it was cool. But it went on a little too long, in my opinion. Track 2, Buckingham Palace. Beautiful horns on the intro, pan to the right. Love the dirty, dirty percussion on this track. A true sample pokes through on the second verse. Ghostface kills this verse. And I've always loved his lyrical style and voice on this type of percussion. He just gets your head knocking until you get that screw face off a dope line. And the chorus is dope as well. On the second verse, we get a back and forth from Benny the Butcher and 38 Spesh. And they structurally build a verse bouncing new rhymes off of what the last person rhymed. And I've always dug that kind of style. And then King Crooked comes through to murder his voice. To murder his verse. He killed it. Some pure hip-hop here. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, comes in hard. Dude, Ghostface is a gangster, dude. I love Crooked as well. He destroyed his verse. I did not like anything on this entire track. It was aggressive. I love the insults. I love the threats. It was just enjoyable. It was dirty. Straight killed it. I gave it a 7 out of 10 as well.
Alright. Well, hey, we can agree on that. Track 3, Majestic Accolades. I actually really dig that title. More sample work with authentic percussion, and I absolutely love this beat. The beat goes in and breaks down near the end of the verses, and I dug that. The verses from Ghostface, Planet Asia, and Husk Kingpin delivers some top-notch lyricism. Love the flow on the chorus, bars, line, verbal wordplay, spit darts sharp like a DJ. I gotta say, Planet Asia stole the show for me. Dude killed his verse, especially with that line, "Yo, Desperado, designer, Renaissance, head of the wave, I freed the slaves, licking shots up in the synagogue." I was like, oh! And that rhyme scheme was nice. I will say that nothing was too amazing here lyrically besides him, though. So I gave this one a 6 out of 10.
I disagree. I thought there were straight bars on this one. Love the beat. I love the old school vibe. Something I love. Boom bop, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, a boom bap, man. Boom bap. Classic.
Boom bop, boopity boppity woo, you know what I'm saying? It was great. I gave this one a 7 out of 10 as well. Keep it coming.
So you're a fan of the sample-based production like me?
Oh yeah. I love gangster rap, dude.
I do too. And that's why I'm kind of excited to get into that Dave East project too. But yeah. So moving on, track 4, Cold Crush. I can't say I was really digging the aggressive and filtered guitar that acts as the foundation for the whole track. The drum beat was nice though. There's not a whole lot here instrumentally that holds my attention for very long. I kind of just require more. Not a fan of the constant loops. It gets old after a while. This song is definitely saved by the rhyme schemes, though. Every artist really came with aggression and sounded hungry. The lyrics definitely held my attention, and therefore I give this a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know. This one just didn't do it for me. I didn't care for it.
Was it the beat? Because the beat was just, it was loops over and over again.
Yeah, it felt very repetitive. I gave this one a 5 out of 10.
Which can make a song that has, like, no structural change, it can make it sound like it's way longer than it is.
I wanted to like it. I really did. Especially with the other songs being, aggressive and hard hitting and everything. I wanted to like this one, but it just wasn't there for me.
Yeah. Alright. Track 5. Put That Ghostface On. This is a skit over just beautiful production of Ghost. It's just a skit of Ghost explaining how he thinks he just has a few more albums like this, a quote-unquote street album, in him before he switches the concept up and gives us an album about a subject that means more to him, like love or religion. I mean, it's just a skit, so I didn't really give it a rating.
I thought it was interesting. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I thought it was interesting. That's it.
I was like, I mean, it could have done without it, but it was interesting to listen to. So, I mean, it's there. I give it a rating. Wasn't it the intro or outro, so.
Yeah. Alright. Saigon Valure? Something like that. I'm also doing the remix too in this review part here. Such a jazzy head banger, man. The horns are laced nicely with the dirty boom bap sound, and of course Ghostface kills it. I dug the flow of the chorus also. Now, we also get 2 guest verses from 2 legends, and I love these legends, especially their old stuff. But first up, Snoop Dogg, who delivers a rather off-topic and sub-bar verse. And E40 does his thing. I think I always just love E40's presence on anything. He has such a style that always gets my attention. But this track as a whole was just alright. The only difference in the remix is the added verse from artist Tricky. But I wasn't feeling his verse like at all. 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it definitely had the old school vibes, which I'm a huge fan of. The beat was pretty dope in it. The bars for sure from Ghostface. Of course, you got Snoop talking about smoking. And I'll be totally honest, I hated E40's verse. I did not care for that at all. Could have done with him not on the track. Much bigger fan of his older stuff.
Oh yeah, his old stuff was crazy good.
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel that though. What did you think about the remix? Get that out of the way.
Remix? I liked it a lot more.
Really? It was just an added verse. That's all it was.
Yeah, and I felt like it added more to it.
Really?
I thought it was better than the other one. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Jeez, alright. You must have really liked Tricky's verse then.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I don't really have anything else. It was the same song, just with an added verse, like you said.
Yeah, made it an extra minute longer.
Yeah, and I felt like it needed that.
Alright.
Don't at me.
Good enough. Track 7, Constant Struggle. The percussion, a distant choir band-like sound that I felt, but this instrumental was just heavy bass, a mostly 3-part drum beat, and a sample sitting on top of everything. Rinse and repeat for these 3 verses, but it sounded nice. The instrumental doesn't really keep my attention though. The showstopper here is the lyrics. On the first verse, Ghostface speaks on his constant struggle with fame itself. It was interesting to hear his experiences, saying he can't even step outside to enjoy the rain without being swarmed by fans, then admits he needs freedom from this and many other things on the hook, and every featured artist chooses a topic Face displays on the chorus to rap about. And every other artist really says some real stuff on this one, and I'd say this is one example of a song I'd listen to just for the lyrics. They were great, especially Bishop Lamont's. On the last verse, dude killed it, 7 out of 10.
7? Disrespect.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I love this song, dude.
Really?
Powerful opening. He's talking about being famous, where he can't do, like, anything without being recognized. I just really enjoyed this track. Everybody's got their own stories.
Yeah, that line about standing out in the rain was really profound, I guess.
Listen, it had some realism to it, and I love it. I absolutely love it when artists get real with us. Lets us get a little view of their life. Something that not all of us can experience in this lifetime. So it's really awesome when they open up to us, especially to their fans. And it's kind of like a message to us. Is like, hey, listen, we appreciate you guys. Absolutely, 100%. But they are also humans. It talks about, like, not even being able to shoot some basketball hoops, like, without getting swarmed. I can't even imagine that, dude. I'll go to the park all the time, and I'll play some basketball here or there. Go to the gym, work out, something like that. Nobody recognizes me. I'm in and out. I can't even imagine like going to the gym and just being swarmed, and not being able to do what I came there to do because there's people asking me for autographs and taking pictures with their phones and everything. That just sounds exhausting, honestly, and I enjoyed this song. I appreciate this song. There's a great story. It fit the beat, and I really like the Freedom lyrics, although they were kind of getting repetitive a little bit, but nothing too bad. I really enjoyed this song. Gave it a 9 out of 10. You can take that 7 and do something horrible with it.
Hey man, it's just the beat. It just wasn't doing it for me, and you know me. I need those two lanes to be one with each other. But I also love how he admits like he knows that he asked for this.
Yeah, and like somebody could obviously say, well, you could put a basketball court in your house. You know what I'm saying?
All right, track 8, Done It Again. Some rather nice piano loops on a beat pad opens up this track. The sample shines through really nice, really well on this one. Big Ghost flipped this nicely. As far as the lyrics, I love the singing on the chorus, but Face let me down on this one. I thought the featured rappers, Stylistic, Jones, Big Daddy Kane, and Capadonna, they definitely stole the show for me. The beat breakdown and a subtle beat switch for Kane's verse was dope as hell. Made the screw face on that one. Definitely a dope track, 8 out of 10.
See, for me, the lyrics, I didn't really care for the story in this one. What did it for me in this one was definitely the beat. I love the brass that's in the beat.
Yeah, the beat definitely was nice.
Lyric-wise, it was okay. And me, I'm the lyric guy. So I gave this one a 6 out of 10. Wish that they would have went harder on those lyrics.
Yeah, especially a Ghostface song.
Especially Ghostface.
I don't know, something about Ghostface verse, I was just kind of like, alright, next.
yeah, I definitely felt that. But next, we got interlude number 2, Reflections
of Cream. Beautiful soft sample production. I'd rather hear a verse over this, though. But here we get a skit of Ghostface talking about the rap game in its current state and touches briefly on how hard it was for him and how easy everything is now. It was a nice experience, but it was pretty short, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I like the interludes in this. It ties it together to like the other half of the story of the album, but he does talk about like the hustle when he was doing it versus you can literally post on social media nowadays to blow up.
Rap a verse on Instagram. Yeah.
I'll be totally honest with you. I'd rather watch this in an interview than have it be on the album. So I gave it an 8 out of 10 because oh, my bad. That's a different one. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because I appreciate him, like, sharing his side and how he had to hustle to get where he's at rather than having technology basically carry you nowadays.
I would love a Straight Outta Compton-esque movie for Wu-Tang Clan. Track 10, Watch 'Em Holla. The sample work on this track is amazing. We have some real wordsmiths and members of the Wu-Tang joining Ghostface, and they all just do their thing. I enjoyed the song quite a bit. I do think Ghostface won this one, though. He chose to tell a little story on his verse. The second to last dude to rap sounded like he recorded his verse with a really cheap microphone, though, and it definitely sounded out of place, but this beat was very nice. The lyrics were very nice. 7.5 out of 10.
Yep, I have that guy marked here too. I don't know which one it was, but his verse was very basic. Didn't care for him. He was not needed. However, it was very old school. You know me. I love me some old school. The lyrics were great. It was very gangster-esque feeling. I loved it. Something that you'd go cruising down the street to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that grungy dirtiness.
Dirty, man. Straight dirty. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
8 out of 10.
I'd say we're pretty close together on this album, though.
I love this album.
Yeah, this album was pretty good. Last song, technically, the last song, track 11, I Think I Saw a Ghost. Some rock influence instrumentation. I dug this guitar work, plus everything sounded live. I really dug the instrumental, crisp and clean. Loved the heavy filtrated and distorted chorus. Ghostface and every feature killed it. Had my head knocking for this track's entirety. 8 out of 10.
Well, you already know me. I'm a rockhead. I love this. Great change up from the other stuff. The electric guitar in the background was nice. It was a nice shout out to rock groups. I enjoyed this track, and you know me, I love me some rock, so I gave it a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10?
Yeah, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Overall, dude, it was a great album.
It was a great experience. A little short lived.
Oh yeah, definitely should have been longer, but I understand. It's lost tapes. Outro, it was an outro, so
yeah.
I'm sure you have something written for this.
It was an intro. It was an outro.
Yeah.
I think it was the same beat as the intro too, so it was just kind of like, eh. Overall, though, this album will make any hip hop head like me appreciate it, but I'm not sure this is a record I'll be revisiting very often. I definitely will revisit it, but just not that often. The instrumentation lost me on some tracks, but one thing I can't and won't ignore are the lyrics. Dope rhymes all over this thing, but yeah, I'm at a 7.5 out of 10 for me. It's short and sweet. I'm very much looking forward to the newer concept-driven albums, ones like the Brown Tape with Apollo Brown. That record was dope as hell and one of my favorites by Ghostface. Wait, Brennan, did you hear the Brown Tape that came out, I think, last year?
No.
Dude, one of my favorite producers produced the entire thing. It's a Detroit-based producer named Apollo Brown. He always picks like one artist and does an entire album, which we are covering his newest album in 2 weeks when he drops it with Joel Ortiz. Very much looking forward to that. But this one in the Brown Tape, it's a complete concept album, and it was so dope. The rhymes on there were killer. And the production on it, mwah. You will love it so much. you need to go listen to that. That's like a 9 out of 10 for me.
What'd you give this one?
I gave this one a 7 out of 10.
Alright, not bad. I thought it was great. Overall, old school boom bap beats tied in with some bars. Really like this one. I wish there were more songs though, but I understand. Overall, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely something that I would visit, but like you said, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like it's a once in a while type thing. Kind of like
you gotta be in the mood for it.
Gotta be in the mood for it. You gotta be cruising for a bruising when you listen for this. You know what I'm saying?
There's just a lot of records that are like this that I would rather go to, like the Brown Tape. For one.
Listen, I would revisit this album more if it was just the songs.
Yeah, I do think the production was fantastic on this thing. It was gritty. It was New York rap to its finest. It was well put together. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. Also, I really dug the cover art. I thought it was kind of cool.
Oh, dude, I love
Ghost
that.
with a Jason mask on and a gun.
Uzi.
Yeah, I like that. That was dope. But yeah, there's our thoughts on Ghostface. All right, now, Brennan, we're going to start getting into the quick reviews. And in this section, we're not going to go song by song and just detail out an entire album and take forever. We're just gonna kind of skim through these projects. First up is Styles P and Dave East album Beloved.
But it's just Dave East. It says with Styles P on every single track.
Yeah, it's a group project, but I don't know why it was so weird on Spotify.
Yeah, but Styles P is getting like the side recognition.
Just funny, because speaking of Ghost, we were just talking about a Ghost, and now we got Styles P, because I don't know if you know this, Brandon, but he goes by Ghost, too.
I do not, but Ghost is one of my favorite characters in the show Power, so that's pretty lit.
You watch Power?
I do watch Power, yeah. That's a great show. Tommy's my boy, though. Number 1, forever.
I've never seen it. I don't know.
You haven't seen it? 50 Cent,
No.
it's producer of it.
I know. I just never had a way to watch it. And
We'll talk after the show.
All right, so yeah, speaking of Ghost, we got Styles P here. And we also got Dave East. And let me just say that I love both of these artists. They're both lyricists that stay in their lane stylistically, but create really great projects in my opinion. I was definitely surprised to hear they had an album dropping together, and I was really wondering about the chemistry and how they'd work together, and I definitely was excited to listen to this. But yo, Brennan.
Yes.
Do you know why this album is titled Beloved?
Because it's the first track.
Well, the meaning of the name David is beloved or friend.
All right, cool.
And Styles P. What?
I have that in my notes, but thanks. That's cool.
I mean, they only said it 1,000 times in the first. But both Styles P and Dave East, their real names are both David. So I thought that was kind of a clever name for this album. I love the artwork on this album too, by the way. Before I give my review, what did you think of their chemistry? And do you think they work together well?
Well, first let me give you guys the rundown. This is Dave East and Styles P's album, Beloved. It came out on October 5th. It's 41 minutes long, and there's only 13 tracks. It's kind of a quick one, too.
It looked a lot longer, but then when it was over with, I was like, really? Dang, that was quick.
Yeah.
I don't know why it looked really long. It just did when I was scrolling through it, I guess. I don't know.
They were good. I thought the chemistry was there. I actually really enjoyed this album. There's, of course, I have some not so great things to say about some songs, but that's just music. Talk about it all the time. Preference. You know, it's a given when it comes to music. You love some, you hate some. You know, unless it's the Lupe Fiasco album and your Montry.
Listen, if you haven't listened to Lupe yet, well, I don't know what you're doing, man. Do you even like music? Okay, for this album, I didn't go song by song, but I did have my overall review of it, and this is it. You ready, Brennan?
Yeah, I went song by song because I'm a good reviewer.
Yeah, I was running out of time for this one, but okay. You understand this is New York rap right from the beginning, the gritty sample-based production making use of all kinds of hard percussion and beat pad loops, drum breaks, drum builds throughout each track. The production was fantastic throughout, in my opinion. For most of this album, Styles P and Dave East go back and forth playing off of what the last person said, creating some unique rhyme building, and I'm a fan of that. And the verses throughout are filled with witty and gritty lines. I loved it. I'm a huge fan of New York rap, so this project really did it for me. I'd say if you like New York rap, Styles P or Dave East, you got to check this album out. I rather enjoyed it. My very favorite songs are Beloved, It's Lit, Shout Out My Hood, Cut From a Different Cloth, The Jungle, Thoughts and Models, and definitely Load My Gun. I mean, The Locks, Brennan, The Locks. That's Jada Kiss, Chic Luch. Yeah, so these songs had the best production and the best rhymes, in my opinion. For those who don't want to sit through a whole project for whatever reason, check out these songs. My least favorite song was Exotic. I just wasn't feeling the production, and the word exotic was said just way too much. The rest of the songs are honorable mentions. Love the damn grittiness in this record. Cut From a Different Cloth is my number one song, though. I want more from these two for sure, solo or together, and I gave this project an 8 out of 10. Brennan, do your thing.
Alright, so Beloved features Dice Pain. I thought it was pretty good, catchy, and I like the meaning of David part as we spoke about earlier. It was a good start to the project. I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's lit. I like the beat, the piano, of course, like always. The lyrics were really good, but the shit lit part it got old, so I give it a 6 out of 10. It did. For all my blank, it was repetitive, kind of talking about losing his homies and moving product, if you catch my drift. I that was like very hood oriented. It was okay. I give it a 6 out of 10. Shout out my hood. I love the beat on this one. Get the old school horror vibe from it. It's definitely a banger. Like the story, but it's repetitive like the other one. They really like the N-word on this track, which was kind of very old, so I gave it a 6 out of 10. They would have cut out a lot of
repetitive stuff on this.
Wish I would have gave it higher, but it deserves a 6 out of 10. Don't Cross Me featuring Jeezy. I love me some Jeezy. So, but unfortunately, I give this one a 6 out of 10. No, my bad. I give this one a 5 out of 10.
Why?
It's a brag song while asking why this one chick does not support them, but then turns around and is talking about getting head. You know, not really my cup of tea, not my favorite. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Very disappointed with Jeezy's part on this one, even though I've been a longtime fan.
You know, I'll be honest, Brennan. I don't even remember this song or a song with Jeezy.
It's forgettable.
I think I might have, honestly, I think I might have skipped it.
It's Don't Cross Me.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I might have just skipped right over it. I don't even know.
Dang.
I totally might have just excluded it altogether from my review because I don't ever remember hearing that song. I'm sure I went through the entire album, so I know I did, but yeah, I guess that was pretty forgettable.
Moving on, Exotic. They really like the N-word, like before. Kind of disappointed, but I really like the simple beat. It's repetitive though, kind of a brag song as well, like the previous one I talked about. They like exotic things, and so do their women, is basically what the entire song's about. Not much replay value for me. It was okay. Wish there was, just a little more variety. 6 out of 10. Moving on. Do you know what time it is? I like the power reference. Time to get the dough, basically, is what it's about. Money is the subject of this song. Daily activities and
what about the number play?
It was shit I don't care about, to be honest. 3 out of 10. The number play? What do you mean?
They're like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Yeah, no, stuff I don't really give a shit about. I mean, it's cool. It was a cool concept, but it just didn't land for me. If they would try a different route, and it was very much a bragging song, in my opinion. And it kind of took me out of the song when they kept repeating the number aspect thing that you were just talking about. But anyway, cut from a different cloth. I really like this song. The intro wasn't great, though, but I like the first verse.
Yeah, Dave East killed this one.
Yeah, I like the piano and the beat. Basically, you put a piano and a beat, I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, sample bass, man. That's that New York style.
I felt very much like this was a gangster song. Good flow. I enjoyed the song a lot. I was bobbing my head to it while listening to it. And overall, I like the message.
Start with an ounce.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. Rare Breed. Didn't have much to say about this, even though I liked it. I basically just liked the beat, and I thought it was smooth, and it flowed well together. It felt good. I gave it a 7 out of 10. We got everything. I get a Doom vibe from this. Do you know who Doom is?
Oh, yeah. MF?
Yeah.
You playing? You playing right now?
No. I like it. It was another gangster lyrics. I like the "tell my secrets to my dog, never heard a dog talk" line.
Yeah.
Thought that was pretty great of a line. The cops try to catch us. The stash crack on the weed block. Thought that was also clever. Basically, like saying that they set him up.
Yeah.
It was just a clever song.
That's the thing, man. Sometimes these Styles P and Dave East, they can actually put together something pretty clever.
I thought it was a good message, too. 7 out of 10. Moving on, In the Jungle, featuring Tish Hyman, I believe is how you say it.
We'll go with that. I don't know.
I think they said the devil will make you humble while you're dying. Is that how the line went?
Dude, I don't remember.
Well, I like Tish's verse.
I do remember liking this song, though.
It was a smooth beat. Talks about life on the streets, of course, so you get more of the gangster talk about being in the game and stuff like that. So, no, me, I love that kind of stuff. Didn't like the semen line. Was not needed. I honestly, personally, ever think when you're doing good in a song and you make a reference to semen or your penis in any way, shape, or form where it's not needed, it just totally throws me out of the vibe of the song, and I'm just like, wow, that was really not needed. Hobson likes to do that, and I don't understand why.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, so...
That song, My Love, I actually liked it until he started mentioning that stuff, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Just takes you out of it, just kind of kills the mood. It was pretty good. I would listen to it again. Just like I said, didn't really care for that line. I give it a 7 out of 10. Moving forward, thoughts and models. The beat reminds me of a GTA loading screen. It's not a bad thing. I love GTA, by the way. So that's a good thing. I didn't get that vibe, but all right. It's not my favorite, though. It's a song about women and having sex. It's skippable to me. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
What's wrong with that, man?
I don't know. You seem to like those songs. But, to each their own.
Well, I don't know, man. I like the beat of this one a lot. And I thought the chorus was kind of catchy, but yeah.
I'll give you that. The chorus was pretty catchy on that one.
I don't know. I just like Dave East and Styles P styles, like, individually. So, like, Dave East has got that grit. He's, like, straightforward, and then Styles P is kind of... I think Styles P is a decent lyricist, so...
Yeah, I'll definitely give that to him.
So, I liked all these songs pretty much for just the rhyming, the beat, everything. So, but I understand why it'd be skippable to you or anybody. I'm just a big fan of New York rap. So
listen, I'll be totally honest with you guys. If I want to listen to one of those songs, I gotta be looking to listen to one of those songs. Moving on, Load My Gun featuring The Lox. Pretty basic lines to start, but it's bumping.
Dude.
It's a gangster song, too.
I love The Lox, bro.
Yes. This is one of my more highly preferred tracks on this album. I wish they would stop using the N-word. Not needed.
I guess I could see that. To me, it doesn't bother me because I listen to rap nonstop, so hearing stuff like that, it just doesn't bother me anymore. So,
but listen,
I don't know.
Listen, I like to bump my hip-hop music, okay? Do you know how awkward it is when I'm sitting in a car in, like, a parking lot or something, and I'm bumping this music, and I'm a white dude with my windows rolled down, and all it just keeps repeating is the N-word. I'm getting mad looks from everybody, and I'm like, this is just the music I like. The Lox,
man, I don't give a shit, man. I turn my music up loud.
The Lox was great on this track, of course.
I was bumping this album.
Although I did know this chorus. I don't know what it's from, but I remember it from something. I've heard it before. I can't put my finger on it, but I've definitely heard it before. I don't know what it's from, but it's a feel tough song. When you hear it, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel tough. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Overall, this album was a gangster rap. I felt it hit hard at some points and definitely fell short in others. Also, they used give me's for rhymes, which was kind of disappointing. I like it when they're more clever with their lyrics. And Corbin, I know you like it too, but sometimes I felt like they were just finding words to rhyme with other words, and it didn't flow well together. Could have definitely tried harder in that aspect. And they dropped the N-word a little too much for me. I know some people doesn't really matter, but for me, the second half of this album was way better than the first half. Overall, I enjoyed this album. It was pretty decent. So, like I said, the only flaws were the N-word multiple times, and sometimes the rhymes could have been better. So, nothing awful. I gave this album a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10? I mean, that's not bad. That's just one score lower than me. Yeah, I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. I just enjoy that style of rap. To me, swearing, it doesn't bother me. I don't care what is being said.
Oh, it's not swearing aspect. It's just when you're...
But I was about to say I understand because it can feel like you're just kind of using that to further on your rhyming structure. And I understand why that would get old. And it is kind of repetitive. And it's like there's so many words.
But overall, I really enjoyed this project. I hope that they collab more in the future. And I'm going to be looking out for their next collaboration when it comes out.
Yeah, Beloved Part 2 would be pretty dope.
David.
David. Okay, so there's our takes on the Styles P and Dave East Beloved album. Next, Brennan, you didn't get a chance to listen to this, and after I listened to it, I pretty much told you you didn't really have to listen to it.
To clarify, I listened to a couple singles, and they were forgettable. So,
it being T.I.'s new album, Dime Trap. Huh. Do you have the length of this album, Brennan?
No, I didn't even write
stats?
It down.
It doesn't matter.
I'll get it.
It's long as shit.
It was very long, which was another reason
long.
It kind of deterred me. I do remember listening to it in the shower, but I wasn't taking notes and nothing really stood out to me. So I don't know what song was which, so I can't really comment on that.
Let's just say I've listened to this album 3 times, forming this opinion. I usually listen to an album 3 or 4 times, unless I absolutely hated it, and then then I barely get through it once. But I'll be honest, the first time I listened to this album, it took me a while to get through it. I was not feeling it.
Why is that, Corbin?
So, I want to preface this with the fact that Paper Trails is on my top 25 list of most influential albums for me, still. And I loved his album Mercy Me and found great things on pretty much all the rest of the albums. But this, man, I didn't care for most of this album. I'm just going to shine light on what I thought were the best tracks and just talk about those.
Okay, but first let me give you guys the stats. This is T.I.'s Dime Trap album. Surprisingly, there's only 15 tracks on it.
Not surprising at all.
Came out on October 5th, 2018. And what you might find surprising, Corbin, is it's only 1 hour long. Exact.
Man, it felt so much longer.
According to Spotify, apparently.
Now, I have my problems with all of these records, but I'll speak on that at the end. We'll start with my first favorite song, track number 1, Seasons, featuring Sam Hook. The organs really sound nice on here, especially with the live bass. The build of this instrumental gives off a church choir vibe, and I really wish the percussion on the second chorus would have happened all over the track. And the explosive drums when the beat comes into full effect at the end sounds so nice, and T.I. gets reflective on his verses. I really like the lyrics on here. A bunch of lines I could point out, and Sam Hook did his thing on the chorus. A good intro in my opinion, but I only set this one at a 6.5 out of 10. It was good, but it wasn't great, you know?
Yeah.
Moving on. My second favorite track, track 3, Big Old Drip, featuring Watch the Duck, which is, boy, that's a name right there. This beat is very nice. Piano opens the track up and builds off of that. The bass comes in nicely on the chorus, and the percussion fits with everything nicely. T.I. gets personal on his verses, offering advice about coming up. I love the lines, every album I ever made was a product of pain. You really think you ain't gonna change coming as far as I came? And saying that, like asking that as it's a question. And I love that line on the chorus, you don't know the risk if you haven't been down a road that's paved. Great lyrics here, and not what I thought it was going to be about after, looking at the title of it, Big Old Drip. It's not what I expected. But I give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Third favorite track, Mr. Amazing Fuck Up. Or The Amazing Mr. Fuck Up. Track 6. We get harmonizing vocals sitting behind the female singer's hook, and this sounded beautiful, honestly, and led to the beat nicely. I love the ever-present bass that exists behind the drum beat. The introduction of subtle pianos was such a nice touch. The chorus is fantastic. T.I. is basically talking to himself, questioning his actions towards his better half of a relationship. This was some great lyricism, honestly, just T.I. stripping his pride from himself while addressing these issues, and I understand the talking over the choruses. I just wish it didn't. I just wish it wasn't there, because it takes the attention away from the chorus, and it got kind of annoying after a while. It was like you're trying to battle listening between the vocalist and T.I. talk, and it was like, just you could have just saved that till the end, in my opinion, but I still really like this song, and I gave this one an 8 out of 10. Track 7 is my fourth favorite, and that song's At Least I Know. This beat is so nice. I loved how it transitions into a different vibe during the choruses and back into the verses. Anderson .Paak's chorus and verse were great. His voice fits on this production. T.I. is basically talking about a relationship that ended and how he still has feelings for the ex. His singing rap style on his second verse sounded nice, and I loved his presence on the chorus. Very dope song. Nice. I give this one a 7 out of 10. And then we come to my final favorite song.
Holy crap.
So, my fifth favorite song on here, track 15, the very last song, and there was a wide gap of songs that anyways. The song is called Be There. And this is definitely my favorite song on the album. Let me tell you why. I feel like T.I. always knows how to end an album. He always includes a victorious song, and this one is about continuing the path you're on. And if you believe enough in your destination, then one day you'll be there. This instrumental is so victorious as well. When the acoustic guitar is introduced in the beginning, I knew I'd love this song. London J gave a great performance singing on the chorus, in my opinion. A little slurred in sections, but I still thought it was nice. And that drum beat is explosive when it comes in. Really love the instrumental. T.I. was great on here lyrically as well. 8 out of 10.
You liked 5 songs out of 15 on this track.
I said 5, but I also have 3 honorable mentions. And these are super quick reviews. So, The Weeknd is one of my honorable mentions. I love the vibe of the song, and Young Thug didn't utterly annoy the shit out of me on here. Nice beat as well. My second honorable mention is What Can I Say? The beat is dope as hell, and T.I. flows over it very well. I also think there's a Dave Chappelle skit in this one, so I kind of like that because I like Dave Chappelle. And then You is my last honorable mention. I love the chorus and the beat. T.I. did his thing lyrically on this one as well. And that brings me to my overall. My biggest problems with this record is that it feels like a bunch of well put together filler tracks. And I found the immense lack of diction to be very frustrating, honestly.
Yeah, T.I. could do better. We know what he can do.
Almost sounding like T.I.'s bottom jaw doesn't work properly on certain words. And it was very distracting to me and is all over this record. I wish he would have sounded out the words all the way because I did like the lyrics here. And I mean, it's T.I. He's intelligent. They're good. But only really liking 5 songs and partially liking 3 songs, I'm only at a 5 out of 10 on this, dude. I want more. and that diction problem, it was driving me insane because it is on every single song. There isn't a single song where he's pronouncing the words fully. And I don't know. I know it's T.I. I know he's done it in the past, but just listen to Paper Trails and you barely hear it on there, I don't know what the point of it was, but it was driving me insane. So there's my take on this album.
Dang.
And my reason why you didn't have to listen to this, Brennan.
That's a good reason right there. 5 out of 10, huh? That's not a great score. But I will say I do prefer T.I. as an actor. Just a preference.
Love T.I. as an actor. I mean, I love him as an artist too. I think he's got good music. He's got fantastic music. I didn't really care for his last album either. I think I gave that one an even lower score, but
wow.
I mean, he's got some great work. No Mercy, like I said, Paper Trail. These are T.I. versus T.I.P. These are fantastic albums.
Yeah, and you can't take that away from him.
No, I want that T.I. back. Like, serious? Like, that T.I. back.
Who knows? Maybe T.I. will come out with his own kamikaze. All right, but moving on, I think that wraps up the albums.
Yeah, that's the albums. Now we're on to singles, and we didn't have much this week because I don't know, there wasn't much out that I was even interested in checking out, single-wise. But I gave Brennan 2 to check out.
That's right.
Did you check them out? I
did. First
one. I want you to talk about Anderson .Paak first.
Anderson .Paak. The single that he came out with is called Tints, and it features Kendrick Lamar. I mean, it was repetitive. I didn't really care for it, to be totally honest. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Dang. Really?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I felt like it was a vibe song, and I wasn't vibing with it. So, that's my take on it. I don't know, it was super exciting. Worth the wait, but...
That's all you gotta say about it.
I don't really go into depth on the singles, to be totally honest. I'd rather wait for the album to come out.
Yeah, that's fair. I know you wanted me to check out the Joel Ortiz track, but I just wanted to wait till the album comes out for that one. I'm not even gonna listen to any of his
singles
until the album comes out, because it's Apollo Brown, man. I want to listen to that top to bottom. That's the only way to listen to Apollo Brown. I'm so excited for that, though, Brennan.
Well, I mainly sent that to you because I thought that, we were literally just talking about it.
Yeah.
And
I knew about this
project. It popped up in my discovery. And I was like, wow, we were literally just talking about this. It popped up in my release radar. I always get those two confused. But I was like, we were literally just talking about this guy. And so I sent it to you because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, if anything, Brennan, you're going to love the production on that album. But, yeah, my take on this Anderson .Paak featuring Kendrick Lamar. I like. This is Anderson's new single from his forthcoming album. There's some calm sounding guitars lace the intro of the track pretty well, but dang, this is a funky song once that beat comes in. There's so much going on, and those cowbells give it a southern feel. I love the live instrumentation of the bass, really tied this track together well. As far as concept and lyrics, it's basically just Anderson and Kendrick asking for some privacy while cruising California. It's a fun song. Anderson .Paak is great on this, and I'm looking forward to his new project. Kendrick provides a dope verse as well. The way he ended the verse was funny too. And this is great. This is a great song for just like cruising around, So I gave this one a young 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, it was alright. Anyway, move on.
Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Woo-wee, can Bradley Cooper sing?
Oh boy.
Well, the single of this comes from the movie A Star Is Born. The song title is Shallow. And Corbin, I know you went and saw the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet. There's like 5 movies out right now that I want to go see.
No. Screw all those movies, Brennan. Go see A Star Is Born.
A Star Is Born is in my top 5 to go see while it's still in theaters.
This is probably my favorite movie of the year so far. Not only did I see it and it just sunk me like in this dark place, but like not dark as in a bad thing. Sometimes it's good to have a movie kind of win you over emotionally like that. But it stuck with me for a couple days. You know how long it's been since a movie has done that for me?
La La Land.
La La Land was fantastic, but this movie, man, I don't know, man. I came out of the theater at a 9.5 out of 10, and then the days following it, it's like the way it stuck with me, and I kept thinking about it, and then I went back and listened to the entire soundtrack. Loved it, by the way. And then I had Brennan listen to the songs on here because like I had to talk about it. I'm at a 10 out of 10 for the movie. It's fantastic. I have my faults with it, my minor issues, but like they're so minor, I don't care, you know.
That's right, Carter, but this isn't a movie podcast.
Shut up. We need to make a movie podcast. You need to go see more movies so we can talk about them because I love talking about movies too.
Love to go see more movies.
Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, Shallow. Now, I'm going to go off the cuff here for a minute and say, Brennan, I also listened to one more song that I'm going to review that I totally forgot to tell you to listen to. My
Yay.
bad. So I reviewed Shallow and Maybe It's Time. But yeah, so if you haven't seen the 2018 version of A Star Is Born yet, do yourself a favor. It's fantastic. This is a beautiful story that put me through a multitude of emotions, especially the ending. My chest was very heavy while leaving the theater, and I can't praise the movie enough. One of the year's best, in my opinion, and I gave it a 10 out of 10. I'd love to talk deeper on this movie, more, especially give a spoiler talk with Brennan on it, just because I have a lot to say, but this is a music review. So back to the music. I recommend listening to this entire soundtrack after seeing the movie so you can listen to these songs in their entirety since they were shortened for the movie. So song number 1, Shallow, the gentle acoustic guitar, Brennan. Ugh. Not only sounds really good, but they gave the reverb-tailed vocals a nice resting place. Bradley sounds really good in this song. Really sets the tone of the track for when Lady Gaga appears. And of course, she does a fantastic job. I mean, it's Lady Gaga. There's live bass and strings that come in during her verse, and I absolutely thought it was gorgeous. I love the chorus, especially the lines, "I'm falling," and all the times I find myself longing for change. I do go back and listen often, and I gave this song a 9.5 out of 10. Only because I thought the bridge was a little repetitive, but still a good song. Now, Brennan, what's your opinion on that? What's your opinion?
Well, right away, I feel like I'm being super biased here because Bradley Cooper is one of my favorite actors. And Lady Gaga is also starting to get up there. Lady Gaga, very talented, can act, can sing. I've even seen her dance a couple times. I was pretty, on her live performances. Not too bad. I like Lady Gaga, but I never really go to her music as a go-to. Does that make sense? Like, if it comes on, I'm not skipping it. I like Lady Gaga, but I'm never excited for. So. Yeah, I'm never excited for Lady Gaga album to drop. So, this song, Shallow, I thought was incredible. It was great. Both of the performances I loved. Makes me really want to watch the movie.
Yeah. I feel like I might be talking it up too much, man. You're gonna go see it and just be like, eh.
I didn't have that many bad things to say about this track because it's only a single. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of replay value to me. Probably not something to get you hype or anything, but it was a good song.
You don't need every single song to get you hype, though. So that's perfect about it, though.
Yeah, it's very, very... What I liked about this song so much is you could feel the passion between them two.
Yeah, the chemistry was on point.
Chemistry, the passion, the song itself. I give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm happy you liked it, to be honest. I thought you wouldn't. I don't know why, I just thought you wouldn't.
Because it's kind of got like a country vibe to it.
Yeah, I mean, you think that's why I wouldn't like it. But
I like music, so...
Yeah. I hate country, though, so... So yeah, Brennan gives it an 8 out of 10. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. But now I want to talk about Maybe It's Time. This song gets a 10 out of 10. Not only did it set up the character that Bradley plays in the movie fantastically. The lines he's saying on this acoustic guitar driven track are really meaningful. I love the lines, maybe it's time to let the old ways die. It takes a lot to change a man. Hell, it takes a man to try. That line hit me, and I thought it was really just well written. And to know that he partook on writing this music too, that just adds a whole nother level to it. And I love the song. Like I said, 10 out of 10. Go see this movie. Yeah.
Can't praise it enough.
No, it was fantastic. I want you to go see it.
I need to go see a lot of movies. I'm a movie guy, and I never have time to go see movies, and it's really upsetting.
Isn't that annoying?
It's very annoying, yes. Indeed. But is that it, Corbin? Are we done?
That's it, man. Next week's pretty big. We got a lot of stuff to review for next week.
I need to start listening.
Same. All right, man. Whoever's still listening, man, you must be bored. I really appreciate you, though. Please leave a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about these records. Let's talk music. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm all ears. Fight me on your stances. Go ahead. I want to engage. I want engagement, you know what I'm saying? Yep, so we're going to try to make this a weekly thing, putting them up on Thursdays. I'm sorry the first half didn't sound as good on my end because there was a technical issue and we recorded both halves of this podcast at different times. But yeah, thank you for listening. Brennan, you got anything else to say?
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Brennan. Thanks to Brennan for being here and, putting up with this music.
Shucks. No, I wanted to just say, if you guys want to talk about music, hit us up. Our social medias will be linked down below in the comment or in the description area. But leave us comments on anything that we post this on. We want to hear from you guys. If you want to fight us on something, if you think I'm stupid for being so negative with the first couple, tracks.
Yeah, you're wrong about Atmosphere, by the way.
All right, whatever, Put in the comment section. Other than that, thank you guys for watching so much. I'm heading out. I got homework. Bang.
You should go see that movie instead. Alright, bye guys.
Bye.